Coming to you live from the scenic wastelands of Detroit, it's time for F&A with your host, Amy the Dream Master.
Hello, everybody, and how is their happy Friday evening going?
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday the 16th, which means 15 more days till Halloween. Woohoo!
It's already Halloween around here, though, right? It's already Christmas around here, for that matter.
It is, as a matter of fact. Most stores that you go into, they've already got the Christmas. They had the Christmas decor come up like the week after Halloween stuff went up. I'm like, what is going on? It's August, September, like Halloween's first.
Well, they can start giving us Halloween stuff in July then. It works. Everything just ships a few months earlier. We'll just be random holidays whenever we want.
Right. I mean, for me, Halloween would be all year long if I could possibly do that without scaring my children to the living death, but that's not going to work.
My kid doesn't like the all-year Halloween decorations either. He still avoids certain rooms of the house as a result.
Yeah, like I just pulled out little by little. I'm pulling some of my toys out, and I pulled out a couple of my Living Dead dolls, which I don't know if you know what they are, but they're in like little tiny coffins.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I've got like Lizzie Borden one, and I got 3 or 4 of them. I had more, but as throughout the years, with different moves from moving from state to state and here to there, I like kind of gave a couple off as presents to people.
That's cool. That's better than losing them or destroying them. Come on.
Exactly. So I gave one to my niece to hold on to, but I'm like, don't take her out of the box or I'll whoop your butt. Because those things are they were damn expensive when I bought them. I think they were like almost 50, I want to say about $30, $20-$30 a pop, and I know that they're worth more, some of them. So, I just took 3 of them and stacked them up next to my nightstand in my bedroom. And then I pulled out my Marilyn Manson Mechanical Animals doll and hung it up on the wall. And the kids they're okay with the Manson doll. They're okay with all my Wonder Woman and stuff like that. But those Living Dead dolls next to the bed, they're like, Mommy, why are those dolls there? They're creepy. I'm like, they're fine. They're good dolls. They're not haunted demonic dolls.
No, the Beanie Babies are the haunted demonic dolls. People just don't know.
No, you don't even know. Don't even go there, because you know what? My mother-in-law, bless her heart, I love her to death. I was blessed with like one of the best mother-in-laws ever. Knock on wood. And every time she comes up, she'll bring, clothes or like a box or 2 old toys of Emerson's and stuff, which is badass that she held on to all that shit, because my parents didn't, and I didn't get a chance to hold on to any of my toys from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I think we sold a lot of them. Either they threw them away, we had a garage sale, or we sold them ourselves so that we could have candy, and whatever else. Not knowing, damn, these dolls are going to be worth tons of fucking money in 20, 30 years. Nope, didn't care. We strapped
play with stuff.
Right, exactly. As we strapped fireworks to G.I. Joe's backs and blew them up. And so, yeah, fun stuff there. Oh, good shit. I don't even know where we were going with that, but okay.
No, that's all right. If you have toys that scare the kids, that just means they won't mess with your toys. It's cool.
Exactly, which is good. And then there are some toys where they're like wanting to get in there and open them, and I'm like, no. Those are going to stay put up.
Some of them, though, a lot of this stuff isn't worth anything. I mean, like, a lot of when Star Wars toys that came out in the 90s and stuff like that, people are like, oh, we'll save these because the old ones are so expensive, but everybody saved them, so they're not, they're worth more to play with than to save.
Right. My friend Scott did that. Like, he had all of the original stuff, like, he had a lot of stuff still, believe it or not, in the box, like the older.
Cool.
He even had the ship and everything still in the box. He would take it out just to show it off and everything, but I'm like, oh man,
One of those kids
But
that took care of his stuff, eh?
exactly. But in the 90s and stuff, when we hung out a lot, he was buying them and still keeping them up in the box and hanging them up on the walls and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And actually, he was one of the main driving forces of why I started collecting because he was collecting a lot of stuff. And then, of course, when I met you, we would go out once a week, twice a week, and go toy shopping. And I still kick myself in the ass with all the wrestling toys.
Yeah, that was the thing to do back
All of
then. You could
that.
go spend
Right.
time at the toy stores, and now there's not really much to do there. Yeah, they have a
Well,
select grouping of toys and a bunch of shelf space that's got nothing there. So,
well, they didn't even have half the toy. They don't even have half the toy stores that we had, like KB Toys and
oh yeah,
oh
all those.
geez, what were there? All those other little independent toy stores among Toys R Us, and then we had Spencer's and whatever else where you could get collectible stuff at. And most of those stores are non-existent, or you can find them in select malls. Like I think there's a Spencer's that I know of in Westland, and that's it. Hot Topic came out and all that crap in the 2000s and stuff and kind of took over
Yeah, and the ability to order cases of figures directly from the online or the
online.
manufacturers and not have to
Yeah.
deal with looking for them at all probably cut a lot of that out too because the
Yeah.
serious collectors are going to order a case of whatever and then just open it, maybe not even open it, who knows, but they're not trying to pull them off the shelves anyway.
No. Yeah. I mean, oh my God. I had so many toys. Like my friends were like, Amy, like what's wrong with you? Because I had all the McFarlane sets. I had all like the horror movies, like, the Freddy and the Jason and Michael Myers. But I opened all of them
Right.
and had them all like set up throughout my house and stuff when I was single without kids. And then I had a lot of the other series of like when McFarlane just started spitting all of them out. So I would try to grab up all the series that I could, and then went to Spider-Man and got the special Spider-Man ones with all the comic books in them and stuff. And I was a dumbass for that one. In the moves and stuff, I just got so sick of toting all the shit around. I just finally just started giving shit away to people for presents because I was just like, really? Am I ever going to have kids? I'm never going to really need this shit. So I really literally did just disperse. Like I gave 3 milk crates, I think, full of loose, just wrestling figures alone. That's just the wrestling figures. That wasn't the rings and the Megatron thing and all the other shit that we had, that I had the accessories that I went along with it. I kept a couple special ones, and then I've got a couple that are unopened, like my original Hulk and Jake the Snake. And
I still have a vibrating Kevin Nash if you want that thing. I don't know what it's for, but there it is. Yeah.
We both bought them, I think, at the same time. We were, I think, at Myers or something, and I was like, hell yeah. And you were like, you gotta get it. Because, of course, back then I was in love with Kevin Nash and his sexy pants or whatever my friend called them. I forget what the hell Lori called them. But he had the red fringy leather wrestling pants, and I was like, woo, Kevin Nash. And then he went into the NWO with Scott Hall. I think that's what it was. It was an NWO one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or he was in the red and black or whatever, and you squeezed his legs or something, and he started vibrating.
Yeah, him and Hulk Hogan. I'm like, what? Why are these? Okay, you put a battery in it and you push the thing and they vibrate. What the hell? What
I
is the
just
purpose of
remember,
this toy?
I think you just like threw it at me, and you were like, "This is your perfect toy, Amy. You got your favorite man, and he vibrates." I'm
Oh,
like,
it's in
great.
the wrong toy section, maybe. Who knows?
This is going back to what we discussed on Wednesday. That will be out on tomorrow
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
Sunday.
That'll be in the 252. I actually
I
had. I
won't.
said I wasn't going to Google it, and then I Googled it, and it came up, and then I had to send the picture to the guys. If you
You
Google the
did?
item we were talking about, it shows up. But
There is.
yeah, but
There
this,
really
the
is.
website it's on is extremely focused on sort of like men only. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
so you gotta
okay.
like if you when it comes up, there's a lot of pictures. You're like, oh no, I didn't need to see that. But if you just look at the product image, like, oh, okay, wow, that's frightening.
Oh, that's amazing that you found it. Oh
And the
my God.
people who are listening, like, what are you talking about? You'll
What
have to
the
listen to
fuck?
the next episode
No,
of 252 to find out because it's a little,
exactly.
it's
It's
too good to give away. You know.
Yeah, I can't. We can't. That, that was a rarity moment. Like even my husband was like, I don't even want to know because he walked in. Um, he had to leave for a little bit. He got a call to go to work. So of course the kids were crashed out. So I was in the living room sitting here, and I'm like, okay. And he walked in just as we were hitting that topic. And when I wrapped everything up, and he was like, every night or every Wednesday when we get done taping, he'll ask, "How was the show?" And he was just like, "I don't even want to know." I was like, "Yeah, it got crazy there." I think and it happens anytime that you've got them guys. It seems like anytime you call me in when we're recording 252 and you've got Ralph or Kurt or Pat on the line and you call me in, it'll be on a subject and then it just veers into the wall and smashes and goes down the gutter.
Well,
And I
that's
didn't
the
even have
yeah, that's the
I,
girl in the boys' locker room syndrome. You walked in and everybody, oh shit, there's a girl. Now what do we do? You know, because we're all nerds and we don't know how to behave in front of women. So.
right. So it's secretly like a episode of The Big Bang Theory, but
Right, right.
via you have to listen and you can't see us. I'm Penny. Does that mean I'm Penny?
If you
But I'm
want.
smarter than her. But I am smarter, so God damn it. And I'm not an actress, and I don't work at the Cheesecake Factory, but
Other than that, it's a perfect match. Right?
it is. And I have Denise is Sheldon secretly.
I can see that, yeah.
Totally. And she's never watched the show, and I'm like, you have to watch it. And I'll see her next weekend. So I think I'm going to bring her season 1 on DVD of The Big Bang Theory because I've got all of them. And just be like, just watch this because I know you'll get it. Because she kind of she reminds me of Amy Farrah Fowler or whatever the hell her name is.
Well, I haven't
But
seen her in a long time, so I can't make that comparison. But
well, back in high school, which is kind of funny, our senior pictures, she looked like Blossom.
okay,
And
that I
like
can
there
see.
was like I could totally pull it out and show you pictures. And like we called her because she had the floppy hat and everything with like the big flower, and she had like a couple of her senior pictures taken in it, and she would wear the hat all the time. And she finally got sick and tired of everybody like making fun of her for looking like Blossom. And I'm like, well, I don't think that that's a bad thing to like be called like that. At the time the show was a hit. I liked the show,
Yeah,
but
but
I
at the
watched it
time,
more for
like,
Joey.
yeah, the girls
Right.
were watching it for Joey, but the guys all were like, Blossom's not cute. You know, that was the thing back then.
Right.
She
And she's
wasn't
still
anybody's
it.
idea of a hot girl, even when her
I
show was
mean,
new. But I think she
she's
looks
still
better now. Actually, she
she's
aged into it a bit.
right. But the way that she makes her like their character and dresses her frumpy and everything like that,
Yeah, but
like
have you ever seen her at like an awards thing or anything like
oh,
that?
she's
I
beautiful.
don't know. When she dresses herself, she looks like she doesn't know what she's doing either. you know?
Right. She's beautiful too at the same time. I follow her on
Right. But she
Instagram.
looks like she's like 85.
Right. It's crazy, but that's how Denise is. It's fucking weird. It's
I mean, like when you're at a
crazy.
show
But
and Betty White is dressed more contemporary than you have issues, you know.
and if Denise you're listening, I love you. This doesn't mean that I hate you or anyway or I'm slamming against you. It just means that you rock, I guess, kind of like you secretly portray two badass characters in a
She's a
TV show
unique
that I
character. Yeah.
what?
She's a unique character. That's good.
She is. And secretly, she is a real neuroscientist in real life. So she not only plays one in the show, but she really is one.
Wow.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know that little tidbit, which I think my friend posted it on my Facebook, but I had already prior known that because when it comes to celebrities and crap like that,
Oh,
I
you mean
have
her? Okay. See, I got lost for a second there. I thought you were telling me Denise was a scientist. I'm
no,
like, when did this
no,
happen? You
God,
know?
no. When did this happen? No, she went from being a psychology major to she's an accountant.
Okay. All right.
So,
Now that makes much more sense.
yep, yep. So, no, I was talking about Mila. I can't pronounce her name. There's just some
Mayim
actually,
Bialik.
yeah, Maya Bialik. I have a hard time pronouncing their names, but I know who they are,
Lots of
and
vowels.
I know everything about freaking random celebrities and craziness. My husband's like, "You're a reality junkie, aren't you?" And he's like, "Why are you so obsessed with the like celebrities and everything?" And I'm like, "I'm not obsessed. It's something that I take interest
I
in."
just spend all my waking moments on it. What the hell?
Right, sorry. I've been following the Lamar Odom. I don't know if you heard what happened to him. If you didn't, then you're
Sort of I heard it the
deaf.
other day, yeah, but
I
I
mean, they
don't know
were
if it's
blowing
all that bad of a deal to be unconscious in a brothel. That sounds like a good deal. It's not like he was doing something correctly, you know. Like
for the money.
dude is
Ooh.
just tired. Yeah.
All right. He's Jesus Lord. Well, I guess his conditions have improved and he's finally breathing on his own. And he actually woke up last night and spoke to Khloe Kardashian. And
I mean, just
I
when you
guess
realize that at
he's.
one point you married a Kardashian, that's got to
That's
melt your brain. What is he going to do except go
what they were.
insane?
That's what they were talking about on the radio. I was listening to 95.5 in the morning. My kids love Mojo in the morning, and it's probably one of the most least harsher radio shows that you've got to listen to because
Sure.
I love Dave and Chuck the Freak, but I can't listen to that with my kids in the car. So I'll listen to Mojo in the morning, and that's all that was on this whole week was them talking about it. But the main thing, like it was a Thursday morning, um, when the news had broke when it had happened. That was the one thing that they had brought up. They were just like, well, if you marry a Kardashian, you know that your life's gonna be fucked. Like in some way or another, Scott Disick's in rehab. You've got, Rob Kardashian that's all fucked up. All the guys, like they just seem to rip through the men and fuck them all up.
Well, that's
You've
why
got
Kanye
Kris
is
Jenner,
okay because he was crazy when he came in.
right? He was already crazy, so maybe he'll like normal out, maybe, and everything. I don't know. I can't stand the motherfucker. Sorry, but
Yeah, I don't like him, but I kind of feel
you know, like
bad for him. Like, oh, you poor fool.
right, like why did you have such love for? I mean, he truly, honestly loves her, which is awesome. But I just don't like his goddamn egotistical. I'm Jesus and fucking I'm gonna run for president and
Well,
I'm a, I want
he
my favorite
believes his hype a
health
little bit,
available. He believes it a little bit too much where I'm like, okay, I'm not a Kanye fan, but God rest his soul, he married Kim Kardashian. So good luck on that one. Maybe that one he'll be like you said, he'll turn normal.
I don't know. There was a picture that was somebody posted today that showed him, taking care of his baby and the other guy's kids and somebody else's kids while they were all dealing with this Odom thing
Oh,
at the
it's
hospital. And it's like, well, he's
right.
being a
It's
responsible parent over here. So I don't know what happened to Kanye.
right. Well, he's the only one because, like I said, all the rest of them. Well, you got Oda Lamar. That's fucking unconscious because of cocaine and Viagra and herbal supplements, quote unquote, whatever. And then you've got Scott Disick in rehab for his alcohol issues and drug addictions.
That guy
Then
sounds
that's
like he
and
was named by Snoop Dogg. That's all I know.
right. He actually, I kind of feel bad for him. He like lost his mom and dad both in the same year. He's married to Kourtney Kardashian. He's the one that's got the three kids. And she's the most like I think she's the worst one out of all of them.
I don't even know that one, so
To
yeah, it
me,
must be a
she's the
picnic.
oldest. Right. I think she's the oldest. I think it's her and then Kim and then Chloe
See, as you
out
can
of the
tell, I've
three.
never actually seen the show, but they're everywhere, so it's hard to avoid. But that's
Right.
a new one. I don't know that one, so that's cool.
Yeah, and he kind of like he was always on and off drinking binges and stuff like that, but he really took a spin when like I think 2 years ago both his parents died within like a month and a half apart. So fuck yeah, that would put you in a tailspin and then having to deal with fucking Kardashian and your stepdad turning into a girl and
Yeah.
all kinds of shit. You got three kids and a baby mama that's a fucking nut, and I'd
See,
be in rehab too.
yeah, I don't want to be that rich. I can stop a little earlier so you can avoid being that crazy. But
But he was a crazy character on the show. Like they went over to England and he got knighted just so he could be a lord and be called Lord Disick. And it was like he was the main reason why I watched the show is because of his character and his obnoxious behavior and everything. And he just would run around and be like, I'm the Lord, praise to me. But people bought into it and it was kind of funny. I'm like, I want to go to, so can I be knighted? Can girls be knighted? I want to be a lord, damn it.
they make you a lady.
Lordess?
You become lady, whatever.
Is it lady or lordess?
Yep.
All right.
Not lordess. You could become lord and go, yeah, 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 yeah. No, wrong.
Dance around all funky.
Wrong kind of lord.
Hey, I like her.
I know her from watching South Park. That's totally it. Yeah.
Oh, that episode was just on, or we just watched that one, and yeah, there was two of them back to back. I talked about one.
I do think
on
she's cool though, because I saw an interview with her after that episode, and she was like playing as if that was actually true. And I said, "Well, you're in on the joke. You're pretty cool." Yeah.
Yeah, she seems to be pretty down to earth, and she's young. I didn't know she was that young. She looks a lot older than what the hell she is, but I liked her music all up until, I mean, there's one song that I avoid, but it's a personal reason. I'm not gonna go down that road. Just in case we have other people listening. Out of our maybe 2 or 3 viewers that even know that we're on live right now.
Hey, we had 8 at random last week since we didn't really
Oh,
announce it.
right.
We didn't
Well,
really
that's not
announce it
bad.
today either, but
No, I literally just, and I still kind of have it. I've had a headache for like 3 days. I've been sick. Like you said, I'm shocked that I don't sound as bad. I sounded worse this morning, but I've got the other Michigan accent going on, which is the nasally sinus crap. Excuse me. Both my boys are sick as crap, and
well,
welcome to Michigan. One day it's 70, the next day 30. 2 days it's supposed to snow. We're fucking supposed to get snow tomorrow night into Sunday.
yeah, that makes sense. That actually happened the other
Yep.
day. Like yesterday, the weather, the temperature said 68 or something, and then the thing popped up, freeze warning. Like freeze warning.
Yeah.
It's like
Freeze
70 degrees.
warning. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. We were running around with our coats on out, with our coats off, and then all of a sudden my friend's posting a thing on Facebook. Freeze warning, and I'm like, "What?" Like, okay, it's dropping down into the 30s. So, wonderful Michigan you got.
But if when we were kids, it wasn't uncommon for there to be occasional snow at Halloween and stuff. So it's not
Uh,
that bizarre. But
no, I don't remember it happening too often. It was always more rain,
yeah,
but it was never as cold. Unless I just don't remember it because we were just so excited and we can withstand the cold better when we're younger.
that's what I think. Because when we're little, you don't care, and plus you're wearing your
No,
costume and your vinyl thing or whatever, and you're all hot and
well,
sweaty
we had
anyway.
vinyl.
Right.
We had those horrid vinyl freaking costumes that everyone's popping up now because they're 20 plus 30 years old.
Oh, it's like a hair
So
cutting cape with a plastic mask. Yeah.
pretty much that, and we went to this like ghost spooktacular little thing out in Chelsea a couple weeks ago. I took the kids. It was actually, we took them out there for Patrick's birthday just to take a peek around. And it was basically all the vendors and stuff. They were just really high priced, custom made witch dolls or different types of dolls. That's all it seemed to be, was dolls. I was like, okay, but it was kind of cool because they had candy set up at everyone's booth, so the kids got to like trick or treat for free. But one of the vendors had a whole bunch of displayed like old school. I think actually the gem one I had, and he had up there, and I was gem one year, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, there's the plastic fucking mask that we would sweat underneath because it just had the little hole in the mouth and the eye holes, and that's it. And maybe some of them had the nose holes, I think, or we would pop nose holes.
They had two little tiny ones. They had an '80s gem costume, eh? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yep. And then my friend Jen actually just posted it on Facebook. Like, she found like a little thing about it, and I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, and I showed her the picture because I took a picture of it up on the wall. I was like, I wore that, damn it, when I was like 7 years old. So it was kind of cool because I got to show my kids finally, like, this is what we had to wear.
Yeah.
Compared to what you get to wear. Now, luckily, my kids are still younger. Like, I love what your wife is doing with your son's costume. My kids are like blown away. They're like, we want that. And I'm like, I'm going to kick your butt, Jamie. Like,
the little wolf head thing or whatever they're making.
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
Now,
it up
I
there
got
on
off.
the table.
Yeah, I got off lucky, and they wanted to be Batman and Robin, I think, to start off, where they were like $30 a costume. And then it changed to something else he wanted to be. I don't even know. But each costume was 30, $40 a pop just for them. And they're tiny guys. They're 4 and 5 years old.
Yeah.
And we went into Family Dollar to get something or other, and we happened to pass by the costume section, and they were like, oh my God, we want this. So Jason picked out army outfit. And I'm like, really? You don't need that because you can just wear your dad's shit. And Patrick picked out the Dark Knight, and it was $10 and $5.
Oh, that's cool.
So I walked out the door spending $15. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. So at least I can get away with it now.
Thank you, bootlegging costumers.
Right, exactly. And it's the same, like his Dark Knight outfit's the same one that he wanted for $30 at fucking Target or whatever. So I was like,
it came out the back of the line instead of the front. That's all.
Right. I was like, this is ridiculous. People price gouging, we were sitting there talking about the costume prices and stuff, and Denise spent like, I think it was almost $40 for her son Kaz's. He was a Halo.
Okay. Yep.
He was what is the name? What is the guy's name?
Chief.
Master Chief, yeah. Because Jason took a picture of him with the mask on. But she's like, I spent over $60 on this, and I'm like, he's 8 years old. Like, our parents never did that shit. Like, I had to go as a bum. I had to go as a bag of fucking jelly beans instead of a bunch of balloons blowed up with a fucking clear plastic garbage bag over my head and wrapped around my body. I think my mom made all of if we didn't get the plastic vinyl ones as the older we got, she would hand make them for me, which is kind of cool that luckily I had a mom that knew how to sew. So I think she made me Minnie Mouse one year, and one year she did the Dorothy costume, which was later in high school. That was for one of my high school. I think I used my marching band outfit one year. That was the last year we went trick-or-treating. They were like, you're wearing fucking high school marching band outfits. I don't think you're old. I think you're a little too old. And we're like, come on. There's nobody else here. We're in Redford. Give us the candy before all the Detroit kids come. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Their
That's
curfew ends in an hour. Let's go. And then that had gotten brought up also. I think are we the only state that does Devil's Night? Or now,
pretty
quote unquote,
much, yeah.
Angel's Night?
That's a Michigan thing. As
It's a
far as
Michigan.
anywhere I've ever been, they didn't know what that was until somebody
Yeah,
from here told them. So
yeah, because that was how it was down south. Like I remember um, my first year living in North Carolina, and we were setting up the house, getting ready because we were having a huge Halloween party. So we started the night before, and then the day of the party, which it was like 90 fucking degrees out on Halloween down there. And I was just like, this is so weird. Like, I'm sweating my fucking ass off. Makeup's running down my face. I'm like, this isn't Halloween time. But I remember saying something to him, and I'm like, uh-oh, better be careful. It's going to be Devil's Night. It's, Devil's Night. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. We're in the South. You don't just randomly burn houses down for the hell of it.
well, that's a Detroit thing. You know what would be fun? Let's go burn our own shit down. That would be awesome. Like what? No.
I mean, for some of it, it's kind of good. I mean, there is a lot to burn down in Detroit that we can just
Well, if you're going to control burn things that need to burn, I
try.
guess that's cool.
But
But if you're going to be, rebelling and angry burning things, at least move a mile up to Grosse Point and burn something worth burning. Come on.
right.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say that. I would never advocate such a thing. But, what's the mentality there? Why would you burn your own neighborhood? That's not going to
I
help.
don't know. Because they're ignorant assholes. That's why. That's
Well,
why I
there's
think they
lots of
tried to
people
change
are,
the
yeah.
whole term from Devil's Night to Angel's Night, and that happened in the
Oh,
I think early
10,
2000s.
about 15 years ago. It seems
Right.
to work, though. They haven't been having as many fires,
But
which is a good thing. But
yeah, but how many other deaths and other stuff like go unreported? See, I don't keep track of that, which I probably should, living so close to it with kids. But as long as my shit don't go up in flames and you don't shoot me down, I'm good. But I don't tend to go out. So
yeah, I know my firefighter friends. They say that it's been better than it used to be, so that's a good thing.
yeah, it got pretty bad there for a while in the like late 90s, especially in like Hamtramck area. That area, like I don't know, what is that considered, like Northwest Hamtramck?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how
That's
to
not that
centrally,
big. Yeah.
right, I don't know how to centrally locate like the east, like I know where Southwest is, Southwest Detroit and all that other stuff, but Hamtramck seemed to be always the worst, it seemed like, which is just on the outskirts of Detroit for those that aren't
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
it's a
the
little
vicinity.
section of its own.
Which, they just announced, and I think it's next week. Mushroom Head is playing at Harpo's,
Jeez.
and they were, I think it was 89X that was, I say one of the two damn stations that were announcing it, and the tickets are only like $15 or whatever. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind going and seeing that. I haven't seen them in a really long time. And you're supposed to walk away with like a special souvenir. And I'm like, what is that? A bullet to the fucking arm? Or, what's your special souvenir?
Yeah, the only time
Walking
it's
out of
really
Harpo's.
good to go there is if you're working and can go in the back door, and even then, it's not always a guarantee.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there, so I don't even know how bad it is or if it's still the same-ish. I think the
It's
last time
actually worse, but
it's worse.
around this place itself, yeah, it's pretty bad there.
Because I know that I haven't heard too many, concerts being performed there as we did back in the 90s and early 2000s. I think that was the last time I went was to see Guar
Yeah,
on
I'm sure
Halloween.
they'll be there probably at Halloween again, yeah,
Yeah, usually they do Halloween. I think that was when we went.
or whatever passes for Guar now. I mean, the
And it was
replacement singer.
Guar, and I think Down was before that. Down, and then we did Guar, and that was the last time I've been down there because it was so bad. I think our one of our friends' cars got broken into. We didn't have any trouble per se, but just that situation and their car getting broken into was enough for us to be like, okay, us Redford white folk don't need to be down there. Like, we'll just stay away. But we haven't heard venues that have been decent to come through there. It seems to go to Flint now, to the machine shop, which isn't any fucking safer of a
No, it's
neighborhood.
same thing, different location.
Exactly. I mean, I have friends that live in that region as well. They're on the outskirts of Flint and Burton.
Actually, I'd probably rather go to Harpo's than Flint.
Um,
At
well,
least I
it
know where I'm at. You know.
depends. Like, if I would feel safe going through Flint if I was with my friends that are from there, because my friend Katie and Doug, and they grew up from that area, and that's actually I spent a lot of time in that area because that's where my paranormal group was based out of, that I worked with before me moving out of state and going down south and working with Sepia in North Carolina. I was with Katie and Doug. Well, we were with a separate group and this idiot Brad, EMGs or something, and we broke off and then we started our own. But we did a lot of investigations throughout Flint, not so much in the in the bad neighborhood, so to speak. It was always on the outskirts. We did there's a lot of Indian burial grounds in that area, believe it or not, just to let you know. Just because I know you don't know this shit. So
It makes sense.
yeah, but there was and the one guy on our paranormal team, he actually was the groundskeeper for a lot of the city of Flint's things, like as far as to like mow the lawn and stuff. So he had the keys to a lot of places. So he was able to get us into certain locations. So there was this like one particular cemetery that he got us into, and it's a pauper cemetery, which means that it's basically where the poor folk went to get buried.
Right.
But in the back part of the cemetery is actual Indian burial grounds. So when we got in there, that was probably one of the first places that I investigated with Katie and our group, which was called Orbs. Separately.
With a Z?
No,
Oh.
ORBS.
Well, that makes
It was
it cooler.
it was like it stood for Observating Paranormal Research Society or
shit,
something, something or other. I forget
Research
what
and
the
shit,
hell it is.
yeah.
Research, exactly, because we're from Flint, motherfuckers. But that was like one of the craziest experiences because we were walking towards the back and literally like we were broken up into three kind of teams throughout the cemetery. So we were spaced out pretty far, but we all heard the same fucking thing, which was we heard drums, like an Indian, like a drum circle going. And it led us all to the back part where the quote unquote Indian burial grounds are, which we did not cross. That's a big fucking no. I even know better. I walked up near, but you could see through where the clearing of the trees are, which is kind of crazy, where like trees never grew because of these where the burial grounds are and stuff. But I kept smelling sweetgrass, like somebody burning that throughout the thing. I kept hearing somebody call my name. It there was some weird shit. It ended up separating me, Tony, and this other guy, Wesley. We were all three together, and it separated us and pulled us all the way across the fucking cemetery away from the rest of the group. And then all hell broke loose, and something kept calling my name, like it would like whisper my name loud enough for us three to hear it. We caught it on, the recording and everything else, but then we would go to search for it and nothing would be there. Or something would grab your pocket, or something would push you, or you'd see like these beady red eyes or something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, get me out of this fucking place. Just get me out. But we went there a couple of times and I haven't been back since then, but
yeah, Poltergeist taught us not to mess with Indian burial grounds.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it. Like there's, believe it or not, there's quite a few cases now where even just recently, my friend Katie, because we don't actively do it, but it will, if somebody calls, they know who to call and get a hold of basically now. Who are you going to call? Call me, which everybody does.
The original female fine. Ghostbusters, right?
Right. I don't mind it. I mean, as long as they're not going to fuck with me, like I've recently have been having going on. But, yeah, the 85% of the calls that we dealt with, there was some sort of something or other attached to Indians. And I'm like, I'm not going to mess with this shit. It's kind of like not messing with fucking demon shit. Peace out. I respect you, Mr. Indian. I'm Indian, so don't fuck with me. We're good. Mikasa Sukasa. We're the same bloodline. Just don't put no juju on me. I've already been hexed enough. I'm sure.
You can go bother somebody who deserves it better.
Exactly. I can send a couple people their way. Here you go. Fuck with this bitch.
Here, let me write you this address here.
I got a list for you. That's why I said love those memes and stuff. Like there's the ones where I can't wait till die so I can be a ghost and go fuck with everybody that pissed me off. You know, there is a meme that says that, and I love it because everybody just randomly about every couple of months I'll post it on my page or tag me to it and be like, haha, Amy, look at it. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I'll be torturing a couple people if they don't die before I do. And if I die before them, they're fucked. Because I got a list or two. Small. Like 4 or 5 people. Just to fucking...
Beware.
Yeah, exactly. My brother's on the top of the list.
He's probably not listening. He's busy right now.
I know, exactly. I love you, brother, but you're on my list just so I can make you a believer.
See, we've bookended it just in that way. Like our show ends, his show starts, his show ends, our other show starts. It's all good.
Right.
4 straight hours of us on Friday.
Exactly. So check it out. After you're done listening to us, you can go tune into him on Cave Radio, and then after his show, Big and Bigger, or whatever the fuck it is. It's horrible. I don't know. He's got so many shows.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going.
He's got a lot. That's where I'm like, holy crap, which show are you on this week? But if you tune in to Cave Radio at, is it midnight?
Yep.
They replay our podcasts of Retronerds 252. They don't play us.
No idea which week they're at this point, but whatever it is, it should be a good show.
Usually, I think they're about 2 or 3 weeks behind what we're...
Like about 5 or 6 because we started late, but...
okay.
Every show is equally good, so just listen to it anyway.
Right. There's never a dull moment. That is for sure.
Although last week's show was a tribute show to a musician who recently died, and it's very odd music. So I put a disclaimer that said, this might hurt your ears. If you don't want to listen, skip it.
Which one was that? I didn't.
It's the guy from Negativland died, and they make basically sonic collages where it's a bunch of just found audio from this place and that place put together into something interesting. But when he died, they released the archive of his radio show, which is about 3,400 hours of material.
My God.
It's like a year worth of stuff if you listen to it continuously, because the show has been going on since 1984, and it happens every week for 3 or 4 hours. So they put all of this stuff on the internet for free and said, here, go check it out. So I was like, at the same time they released that, and I said, well, this is a good week to do the tribute show for him, and I put some out there too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Those guys are one of the reasons I do what I do. Is I found them when I was a little guy and said, wow, this is cool. I need to figure out how to use all of these pieces of gear and how to do this editing stuff and all of that. So that was one of my influences.
So that was kind of...
And it's definitely nerdy, so it fit right in.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I'm bad. Sorry. I usually am really good at keeping up with our own podcasts, but it's hard, especially when you drop
a couple weeks behind. So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, when you've got kids and school and everything else and you're running, and when do you have time to sit down for an hour and listen to, I don't mind it. So it's normally when I'm in the car driving around, I'll throw it in because I can stick it into through the car stereo and hook it up through my phone.
It's not usually the thing you want to listen to with the kids, so yeah.
No, I normally listen to it when I'm like driving to work or driving to my friend's house or something, and the kids are already dropped off at school or the sitters, elsewhere to where I can have that time. But that's my main thing is time. And then by the time they're freaking in bed, I'm clunked out and wanting to die. So yeah, I think I'm about 2 weeks behind. Bad, Amy. God damn it.
That's okay.
Oh,
I say the one from last week is more of a background thing anyway. There's like 5 minutes of me setting it up, and then it's a whole bunch of music.
I was gonna say, I don't think I remember. We didn't have much to go off of, like talking wise. So, whatever. It was a bad week.
It all works out.
All right.
I have backup plans in case nobody shows up. You know how that goes. So everybody's busy. All right, it's an all me show. Let's put something together.
Has that happened yet?
Last week.
No, I think last week was. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I was down for the count. I had I've had a week long migraine.
Yeah,
it's my sinuses. So
as if people can't tell you.
Sorry, I'm so.
She's not constantly doing cocaine. She's just got a runny nose.
No, I'm not. I am not.
Damn, who's a Scarface sitting over there? Every 5 seconds, girl.
Are we really gonna hit the Scarface again? Now, anytime
I said good day.
It is anytime I see somebody put a Scarface reference or anytime Scarface is brought up now, I just start to chuckle and I see Fez.
That's good.
And then I have this like whole image go through my head because I'm such a visual person, and then I see the figure skating show all in Unwrapped that we discussed.
That's right. Scarface on ice.
See, this is why all of our listeners that are listening now have to listen to the podcast, because a lot of our shit will probably end up tying in together. Yeah.
Well, there'll be some back and forth for sure, but yeah.
I can get my shit together and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I got a plan this week, but I said that last week that we were gonna have a plan, and
well, that's what we do with 252 is there's always a plan, and I have a list of things, and then I get on, and then somebody starts talking about this, and then it turns into that, and then it's 2 hours later, and we never got to any of the topics that were listed, but we had a good time.
Right, because we laughed for basically literally 45 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Literally without like last week's show, that's probably half of the damn.
It was, and actually, it's being put up as basically a straightforward chunk all the way through without a bunch of segment edits and stuff, because it was a continuous piece like that.
I know, which is rare. It's hard to get all of us, because now you guys get a little behind the scenes of what happens with a podcast versus live show. Live, you're getting this right now. You can do all the pre-planning you want, but it's the same kind of with the podcast. Like last week, I had a bunch of notes and shit, and I think I got to say one thing off those notes because we just kind of went back and forth. And
yeah, you look at them and you wait for an opening to slip that in there, but sometimes there's just no spot.
Yep. Now things will change because progressively, as we do gain more listeners with this show, and we are still working out tweaks and everything of different methods of broadcasting and all of that, I do want to start bringing guests on and interviewing them and stuff, and that's a whole new level of things that you actually have to prep for.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're doing that on the other show too, but again, without it being live, you can talk for an hour and edit it into 15 minutes if you want. It doesn't matter. You know,
Unlike
when you put
where,
guests on live, they
uh,
themselves get a little bit more nervous about what they might say.
I mean, it could go either way. That's the benefit of me doing the live stuff for as long as I have. I've had some really freaking priceless moment shows when throughout doing Lights Out and Sepia RVP, and we've had some really bombers, and like we talked last week about the one British guy or lady
Oh,
that we
the
couldn't even
British
fucking
lady, yeah.
understand. There was another guy, it was like an older man, and we brought him on for a book or something, and he just kept talking and talking and talking, and he just talked in the same monotone voice,
Like
and he just
Bueller. Yeah.
right, he just read like chunks from his books and stuff, and we were doing the live webcam, and I think that was the one where we were all like pretending to sleep on each other and shit, and that's why I'm like, I hope to God, thank God that the webcast ones of us weren't
It's not
able
archived
to,
anywhere.
right, they're not archived because we would be so fucked because of this crazy shenanigans that we did. But yeah, and then there's just some that you don't even have to, it's like they've got themselves prepped and you don't even have to really ask questions. They'll just jibber jabber through and you're like, all right, cool. All right. Uh-huh. All right. Uh-huh.
Those are
Uh-huh.
usually people who have done it
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Which are always easy. And then you've got some that are like fucking pulling teeth. You'll have 30 questions. Usually I was always the one that wrote the notes and did the research and everything for when we were doing Sepia RVP. And bless her heart, I believe it was Rosemary Guiley, which she's up there in the top field of investigators. She's wrote tons and tons of books on everything from A to Z. I think she actually has it is working on a dictionary of A to Z for the paranormal.
Cool.
And you would think that since she had A to Z paranormal knowledge, that it wouldn't be that hard, but it was gut wrenching. You ran the boards for that because it was towards the end.
I'm sure.
Because we had met her at Dragon Con, so that was how we set up our interview thing, was when we met her at Dragon Con and stuff, and when we met her face to face, everything was good. It was free flowing, but then you got her on the air and it was torture. And I had 30 questions written out, and we couldn't even get half of them to get her to answer them the way that we needed her to, or it was horrible.
You start
You're
getting yes and no's. Yeah. Like, well,
yeah,
yes and no
basically,
is
like,
not good for the radio. Yeah.
exactly. She would just be like, yes. And we'd be like, and can you fucking explain it then? Because this is why we're here. We have you on. No. Okay, great. Okay. Thanks. On to the next.
Those are fun too. You just have to play it that way. Yeah. Set them
Right.
up like, okay, well, we'll just, keep asking stuff and let you run through this whole list. And if we're done in 3 minutes, I guess we're done.
Right. And we've had that, or we've quote unquote, there's been a couple of them where this was pre, I think before we got on Para X, where we just quote unquote, oops, lost signal. Oh, Skype dropped you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, we can't add you back on. That's horrible. I know. That's fucking how it goes.
It
That's how it
doesn't happen that
feels.
much.
No, it doesn't. No, it was very rare. I can count on one hand how many times. And then I can count on one hand of how many times there's been a fight too. Oh, yeah. People sometimes don't like their opinions or their beliefs or whatever to be questioned. So, and I'm like, well, then why are you on here? Because you know that there's going to be another side to everything. There's always a skeptic to the believer.
Right.
You
Sometimes
know,
they maybe figure that if they're on a show where everybody is on the same note, that nobody will be playing that side, but there's usually still
yeah,
somebody has to.
there is, and yeah, and some of the shit, I straight up don't believe in. So you teach me. You can teach me how to, convince me to believe in that, and then maybe I'll try to delve into it. But there was just some straight up fucking wackadoos. There's just
There's plenty of them, yeah.
well, yes, there is. There was that one guy, Vlad,
Right off the
something or
bat, if your
other.
name is Vlad, you've got some stuff going on.
Yeah,
That's kind of
Vlad.
cool. It could be good. It could be bad.
What did you'd ran the boards as well because we did this around when True Blood
Okay, okay.
was huge. So the vampire craze was big. You had True Blood going, you had all the whatever the fuck Twilight saga going. So vampires were in, kind of like how zombies are right now. And so this was in 2009, and I don't remember what specific. Oh, we brought him on for that specific thing, but this guy like basically runs the underground vampire community.
Oh, I
And
remember that guy. Okay.
yeah, and he was like straight up telling us like they drink blood and all this other crap. I'm like, isn't that like not good for you to be drinking other people's blood and yourself, which is kind of what's going on in American Horror Story too, which I figured it out.
You already figured it out? Isn't it like the
I,
second one
uh,
in?
yeah, I've got a lot of it figured out. Well, they got a big chunk of it. They kind of explained,
Oh,
but I had already known kind of through the first one. I had my guesses of what was going to happen, and then
seems
a
pretty
lot of shit
early to be
spilled out.
giving it up like that.
I'm sure there's more
It'll
twists
still,
and
yeah, still
turns.
change some more.
I mean, there is a lot of freaky shit going on in that, but yeah, that guy was weird as fuck. Like after we did the show, we all looked at each other and we were just like, he's a
Yeah.
little bit
Don't invite
odd.
that guy to the party.
Yeah, like I don't know about this, but he gave us like I don't know, it weirded me out where I was just like that's fucking there's motherfuckers that really believe they're fucking vampires walking on this goddamn earth. They'll get their teeth shaved down and everything, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, what's
sure.
next? What's next? Is it going to be fucking people that really think they're werewolves?
Well, do you remember? I won't name the person's name, but do you remember the guy that we used to call the White Wizard? He used to be
Yes.
remember he had his teeth filed down like that and stuff. He had the vampire teeth going.
Oh
He was
my
a big
god.
weirdo, but he was a cool guy. He was everything he was into was super cool. But he did take that to that extreme. He would wear a wizard's cloak around, and he had filed vampire teeth and all.
Yeah. I don't remember the teeth, but I remember the wizard
Yeah,
outfit
he didn't show them
because
to people a lot because they freak people out. Like what the hell's wrong with
yeah.
you? But being that he
I
was in
mean,
a room full of people dressed like clowns and shit, it was okay to have the teeth.
right. Right. Well, were they his actual teeth filed down or did he get the
He
prosthetic
got some
ones?
implant things put in there.
Okay. I was gonna say, because like when we went to Dragon Con, Jess went to, oh God, I can't remember the guy's name. His name's Wolf something, but he did all the teeth for True Blood. He did the teeth for Blade. Pretty much any kind of vampire, anything that had been recent within the last 10, 15 years, he's done all of it, all the work. God damn it, it's pissing me off because it's Wolf something or other that does the teeth. Anyways, he does a phenomenal fucking job to the point where they look that real. They're
Yeah,
that expensive.
yeah. I think that even in the late '90s, that guy he paid like $1,000 for that set of teeth. So yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
cheap at all.
they weren't that expensive. I think Jess, because she got some, but we got a discount because we were in with the right people. So we knew the person that was running Dragon Con, and she was a really good friend. She's actually who introduced us to him. And then we got him to be able to come on the show and everything too. And ended up meeting him a couple of times because he didn't live far from us. So he actually came to the house to make me and Eric our own special set,
Oh, that's cool.
and which was kind of badass. But he only charged us $100
Nice. Well, yeah,
compared
they
to
weren't being permanently mounted in your head.
no, but he molds it to your teeth. Like
Right.
he'll take a mold of your teeth and like they're porcelain.
That's cool. Yeah.
So they pop, they go fit right over. They're
Well, that would be the way
badass.
to do it. The way the other guy, he had, dentists put him in there. You're paying dental
Right.
fees and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, where a lot of people really are doing that, but
Oh, there's
I'll just
people that
yeah.
they have the implant the horns under
In
their
their
skin of their
hands in their
head and
head.
stuff.
Yeah.
No
I'm like,
thanks.
you guys are retarded. Like, shit, just even think about getting a boob job's scary, but to fucking be putting like a devil horn, I've seen hearts,
Oh yeah, I've seen
you
a
know,
dude with a Klingon
cats.
ridge on his forehead. Like really? Yeah.
That one I would probably like walk up to him and be like, alien motherfucker, psh, I caught one.
You got to go up and you have
Punch.
to approach him speaking Klingon, or he won't know what you're saying.
Right. I don't know Klingon. I'm not that big of a nerd.
Yeah, I don't either, but I have some friends that do.
I don't. That wasn't one of my. I did not like that show.
Yeah,
I've
you're not a Shatner fan, I know.
no. We went down that road. That's in connection with Dragon Con too, and that's the whole reason why.
Klingons weren't cool until the next generation anyway, when like Mr. Worf came around, because the first series they were all bad guys and dickheads.
And that was
Later on,
Picard.
they became good guys, and they were, or at least not evil or whatever. So that's when people started becoming more of a fan of the Klingon, I guess. Of course, people are also big fans of the Empire and stuff. People have, Empire tattoos and things like that. Like, really,
Oh
that's
yeah,
you
my
choose
brother
to
does.
serve them? Okay, yeah.
My brother's he's got it. He's got one whole arm
All the
with
different
the
logos.
Empire. Yeah, and he's got the other arm of the other one,
Oh,
and I'm like,
with
you
the rebel thing. Yeah,
with
that's
the
cool.
rebel. I'm like, you're fucking. I'm like, you used to pick on me about tattoos and shit, and here you are now, covered in more tattoos than I do, and they're even more nerdier than my shit. At least I keep mine like badass looking and edgy or whatever.
Did you
But
get
no,
yours
he's
first?
got. Yeah,
Really, I didn't know.
yep. I got all my tattoos first,
Wow.
and then he kind
Well, he
of.
caught up.
I took him to get his. I was there to witness his first tattoo. I think I was like 15 years old, and he got this little beer cup or beer mug. It was at Gibraltar Trade Center that he got it in the Mount Clemens one.
Hmm.
And which that's not a good place to choose to get a tattoo, but all right, Eric, that's what you want to get. That's what my mom, it was only like $25 or something, $20. And he got a beer mug that had like in the banner and he got his nickname Shalty in it. And I just laughed because I watched him get it, and he like cried like a little bitch. And after that, he was like, "I'm never getting another one." So once I turned 18, boom, I went in and got my first tattoo, and from there I was hooked. And then I took him when my mom passed away, right after she passed away, and that's when we went and picked out like a memorial tattoo, and I got mine, which is the Dreamcatcher one. And I paid for his and I paid for mine. So it was kind of like a present to him. And he picked out like the most girliest fucking goddamn tattoo. And I had my guy freehand tattoo my tat onto me, which is all like fine line, black and gray, this badass fucking dream catcher. And it's got my mom's name in the middle of it. And my brother's got this like cheesy cross with like some yellow roses coming up with my mom's. I think he just got the dates put in there.
That's
Maybe
cool.
with her or something like that, but I don't know. That was not, and then from there he was like bitching and crying about that all night because everyone kept coming up to him and smacking him on his back. Good times.
Good friends.
Yeah, and then I go to, it's because my friend Andy is basically why he's got all of his tattoos, and it's the same reason I do. I volunteered my skin for a person to basically fuck up
Practicing.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he only fucked up on maybe two, which need to be fixed, but I never paid for them because I was his very first person that was like, oh, go ahead. I'm fucked up. Here, just tattoo me. I got a whole big, huge 5'10" tall body of fucking skin. Here you go. So it kind of worked out. Yeah. And I have some space left, but not much. So, hey, look at that. We went 5 minutes over.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
We actually didn't fall asleep this time.
I usually
I don't. It was it was a lot last week. It was very busy. So.
Yeah, last week was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then for me to have to take the kids to the sitter and then go back and get them, and holy crikes, we didn't get home until forever o'clock. I think. Right. Yeah, driving. Yeah, about midnight.
That's not too bad though.
Yeah, it was. We got to the kids' house and we were like, everyone's fucking asleep. My kids are on the couch, and we cannot find my son's shoes anywhere. And Becky's like, where the fuck are they? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't find them. Like, shit. So that took us like 20 minutes just to find Patrick's shoes. And I'm like, why in the hell would they like not have that stuff together? But when you're dealing with 5 kids, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, that's a mess of kids.
Right.
All right, well, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess so. So, hey, good show. I don't think there was any flub-ups, hopefully.
That's
technical?
Good. No problem?
Technically?
No
technically?
No,
nope.
Everything here is working fine. Yeah, it's
okay.
Cool deal. Well, let's bring in some tunage and we'll say goodbye.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Tune in next week. Happy day.